Good evening and thank you. There's a magazine ad produced by a company named Fila, which honors NBA All-Star spokesman Grant Hill. I found this ad mesmerizing because of the text, which reads, "This year, Grant Hill led his team in scoring, rebounding, assists, and steals, led his team back into the playoffs, led the league in all-star balloting, earned a place on the Olympic team, didn't punch an official, didn't demand a contract extension, was never tardy, and was always cordial, didn't dump his high school friends, listened to his mother, remembered his doorman at Christmas, made his bed daily, promised to take shorter showers in an effort to conserve water, got plenty of sleep, didn't hurt a fly, organized his thoughts, chose paper over plastic, appeared fully clothed in interviews, improved his vocabulary, counted his blessings, said nice things about his teammates, fed coins into other people's parking meters, kept his thermostat at 68, practiced what he preached, actually paid attention when the stewardess emergency flight instructions, and donated a kidney and vowed to do better next year." The ad ended with these words, "There'll always be areas of your life that need improvement. No one is perfect." Wow. Madam Party Leader, Premier Paula Cox, members of the party executive, ministers of government, members of parliament, candidates, and the foundation of all that we are and all that we do, members, supporters, and friends. I began tonight with the story of a man who is doing everything right, but who is still not perfect. You know, not only people have this problem. Businesses, charities, churches, unions, and political parties have the same problem. We are not perfect either. And when you look for perfection, all you see are the shortcomings. We need to look for the best, and then we will find it. While canvassing recently, I encountered a constituent who was quite proud of the fact that he was not a registered voter. His attitude changed slightly when I reminded him about his responsibility to his children and as a citizen. I know that tonight I do not have to impress on you how important it is to vote. I know that tonight, because of your presence, that I am primarily speaking to people who are not only registered voters, but many who are members of Bermuda's oldest political party. Members of a party founded by the workers of this country, many of them your parents and grandparents, at a time when many of them could not even vote because they did not own the requisite piece of land. Next year will mark this party's 50th anniversary. Members, we stand on 50 years of history, 50 years of service to the community, 50 years of commitment to change for the better and to making this country work for the benefit of all Bermudians. We stand on the shoulders of giants, from Arnold Francis and Walter Robinson to the dynamic duo of Brown, Evans, and Wade, through to Smith, Scott, Brown, and Cox. We always have and we always will stand strong for Bermudians. We stand strong on the shoulders of Bermudians who were not afraid to speak truth to a system that ignored the majority of the population. We stand strong on the shoulders of Bermudians who embraced men and women as family. Bermuda, as you should know, is rightfully proud of its parliamentary history, dating back to 1620. And we often brag about this fact, especially when we're abroad. But most celebrations of this historical fact omit one important thing, that when Bermuda's parliamentary history began, my ancestors were slaves. Not only could they not vote, they weren't even considered full human beings. Yes, that was then, and this is now. And slavery was abolished in Bermuda in 1834. But universal adult suffrage enabling everyone over the age of 21 to vote, whether they owned the land or not, did not happen until 1966. And 18-year-olds didn't get the right to vote until 1989. Very recent history. I mention these things because some young people truly do not understand why most adults value the vote. They don't know or appreciate how voting and the work of this great political party has improved their lives. We have not told them. We've not told them the stories of people who rioted and striked, fought and died for the right to vote, not in the United States, right here in Bermuda. The right to vote was a hard-won victory, won by those who stood strong for their rights as a full citizen. So today, I find it more than strange that there are people calling for students to be able to vote by post, while at the same time telling other Bermudians not to vote as a means of expressing their displeasure. Strange, just a little strange. I'm not going to say duplicitous, I just find it strange. There's a dual message here that is just not honest. Either the vote is most important, or it is something to be tossed aside at will. Or maybe this is just another tactic to make sure that some people are not a part of the decision-making process. I know that some of you here tonight, like me, are old enough to have attended school before 1968. I know that I cannot possibly be the only one who remembers going to school in a segregated Bermuda. I graduated 3 years before desegregation, and I ran for a seat in Parliament in the UBP stronghold of St. George's North, just 4 years after desegregation. Now, I'm not trying to demonstrate how old I am, but I remember when the PLPs called for free hospitalization, free education, workman's compensation, and old age pensions were derided as socialism by the UBP. Bermuda was governed for decades in a manner that looked good on the outside while ignoring the fundamentals on the inside. No benefits for the people, scrimping on taking care of the infrastructure, endangering people and the economy as buildings, bridges, and infrastructure grew old. Introducing, when it became politically expedient, these same PLP socialist ideas. Suddenly, there was free hospitalization, free education, workman's compensation, and old age pensions. But these are a few of the PLP's achievements. No, we did not institute them, but make no mistake, it was because of the PLP that they were implemented. There is not time enough tonight, although the first speaker tried to tell you everything that the PLP has done. Plus, a list of our accomplishments would be so long it would be boring. If you want to know the full impact of the Progressive Labor Party on Bermuda, read our platforms from 1964 to 1998. Then read the ones from 2003 to 2007. In opposition or in power, we stood strong and exerted our influence. Encourage others to learn what the PLP has done. Go to the Bermuda Library and read the Bermuda Recorder. Ask the elders in your families or neighborhood to tell you what they remember of those who stood strong. And ask them, which party has consistently demonstrated throughout its 49 years of existence that the well-being and best interests of Bermudians is their sole reason for being. I use the word Bermudians deliberately because from its very inception, the Progressive Labor Party rejected the politics of race. During a time of segregation, those white numbers bold enough to join, Dorothy Thompson, Dr. Barbara Bowl, and David Allen, to name those who were most visible, were welcomed as family. We dreamed then, as we dream now, of a Bermuda built using the resources of every member of the community. The hope you felt in 1998 was not phony. We did not expect miracles. We knew it would be a long, hard, brutal grind against the forces and interests that had ruled Bermuda since its inception. We never promised a mistake-free government or an easy path. We told you that the challenges we faced are real. They are serious and they are many. We warned you that we could not easily overcome the challenges we faced in a short span of time. If you are weary now, don't give up. Don't give up. If you are serious about real change, you will understand that real change meets real resistance. In fact, you know that the change you have instituted is real when the resistance is so strong. So listen, family, we're making progress. We have confronted the worst global economic crisis since the Great Depression. And Bermuda, along with other countries around the world, has suffered setbacks. There are those who want you to believe that Bermuda's economic woes are entirely the fault of the PLP government. You should just ignore the fact that the whole world is suffering. Come on. This is not the time for small minds who think that their partisan political agendas should take precedence over the global reality. Thank God for the internet. We have an educated population. Bermudians are as knowledgeable as anyone. They know that there is a worldwide recession. Bermudians read and they travel, and we know that even in Britain, the mother country, more than 5 million adults of working age, nearly 15% of the workforce, are dependent on benefits. We know about Greece and Spain and the impact on the EU, and we know that Bermuda is not the only country experiencing a recession. Yes, there have been challenges, but there have also been successes. It has been tough, but we're used to tough. We're used to weathering storms. We're Bermudians. We've dealt with a few crises and maneuvered around unexpected events. We've been tested and we've been tried and we've survived. We are still standing strong. We know from our experience with hurricanes that in the face of adversity, Bermudians come together as one. The adversity facing this island at this time means that this is time for that same spirit of community and caring to come alive. We are making progress, but progress in terms of economic recovery. And our spending has been invested in making this country better. We spent, yes, we spent, not because we like roads and buildings, but because it was necessary to repair and in some cases renew our infrastructure. We spent to provide jobs, assure health, and achieve success and stability for the people of this country. Bermuda's economic success of the past did not trickle down to help those who started off at a disadvantage from the start. Addressing that gap has been one of the main goals of our government. That is why we did not just create economic empowerment zones. Oh no, we also offer classes in entrepreneurism. We help small businesses to set up their books. We create templates to ensure a level playing field for all, and we focus on education for all. We continue to relentlessly and aggressively tackle crime, while also addressing the long-simmering conditions that help to create a culture of criminality among some of our citizens. Come on out to Education's next town hall meeting on the 1st of November and learn about the success of our students in public schools. Don't be deceived into thinking that the changes which the PLP government has introduced, and there have been many, mean that we can now return to a UBP-OBA government. Whatever challenges we face, we will continue to progress and prosper if we continue to stand strong for Bermudians and work together in support of our country. We need the loyalty of all our sons and daughters, native born or adopted, Now is the time for all who live on this island to be part of the solution. We need to regain the power our ancestors harnessed, the power of one joined to one another in unity. There is no they in the PLP. It is we, and we must each do our part. We know the power that unity brings. We know the power of one. There's a poem that says, I am only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but I can do something. What I can do, I ought to do. And what I ought to do, by the grace of God, I will. Each one of you go out and convince another one to vote solidly PLP. Thank you.